Whenever you're ready.
How are you feeling?
This is a bit like counselling, isn't it? Like, you're here to listen to me share all my repressed emotions and, I don't know, analyse my childhood.
Yeah, my job does have some similarities to a counsellor's, I suppose. And I do want you to feel relaxed. I want you to share everything you feel comfortable with. But you really need to understand, unlike a counsellor, whatever we talk about here, it's not just going to stay between the two of us.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, I've never done anything like this before, so yeah, when I usually write or talk, half of the things I say don't even make any sense, not even to my own mind. So I'm not sure if I will be even wasting your time or not, but we'll find out, won't we?
Well, everyone has a story worth telling, and I'll do what I can to help you out, so don't overthink it. Shall we start by exploring what it was like for you to grow up here?
Well, you said it earlier on the phone, didn't you? We live in one of the most multicultural cities in the world. There are maybe 5 other communities that have the same level of diversity, but diversity doesn't necessarily mean inclusivity. I mean, we all know that, and I'm well aware that there are some pockets where it's just white. Especially if you go back 10 or 15 years, that's where I spent most of my youth, before living somewhere much more mixed.
Does that play on your mind at all? I guess, I mean, are you the kind of person that thinks a lot about how their childhood had some significant impact on who they are now?
Yeah, though, I was never very attentive as a child, so a lot of it just passed me by. It's just normal everyday life, you know? Like, you don't stop and think about it. Even today, like, there's a lot of it that I just block out. Doesn't matter if it's bad or good.
Right, but there must be things you look back on and think, well, that was weird, or things you see in the media now or on the TV that you resonate with.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, what's weird for me is the clumping, you know, clumping me into a group, the ethnic minority group. Yeah, I know I don't look white, and sure, my name doesn't sound white, but I don't know if that should automatically put me into the, you know, the black or minority ethnic background. And it's these, you know, clumping and labelling that's the issue for me. And then you've got the issue of me blocking out memories. And then you hear these stories, you know, about mixed-race children and children of immigrants. But you know, none of that really sticks with me. None of it really reflects on my own experiences. Yeah, so I'm just there feeling like an imposter.
What do you mean by that, an imposter?
Alright, for instance, I used to go on these trips, right, when I was younger, with all these black kids. It was probably through the mosque or something, because not a lot of us were white, you know. So we'd go to visit the BBC studios and visit a museum, go to the cinema. But hold on, what am I doing here? These kids are black and I look white. Like, these kids don't go to a private school and I do.
So you're a minority within a minority?
Yeah, and if you want, but in some ways I wasn't even a minority. That's the issue. I went to a good school, I had good privileges, so how was I any worse off than a white kid? Or what, just because I had an unusual name?
And having a name that was perhaps odd didn't affect you in any way? Surely that must have been the cause of some bullying, or there are at least jokes made at your expense? That couldn't have been easy as a child.
Yeah, you get the occasional question or mockery, but like I said, I wouldn't reflect on it. It is what it is. So what if a kid makes a joke about my name? I still got to eat good food, play sports, play with good toys. To me, that's privilege. Not necessarily having white skin.
You don't think it was a bit of both? Living in a society where, on the whole, white men are the most powerful group, which means that your parents or grandparents had to work twice as hard to get to the position where you are today. That's arguably the real privilege, not even knowing that fact. You could argue that your parents were just fine as you are, the way they were. But for millions of people, that's not the case, and I don't think we can disregard
No,
that.
I didn't mean to dismiss or pretend that there aren't any disadvantages to being non-white. Look, what I'm trying to say is just because you're a man or white doesn't automatically mean that you're ahead, you know. Not in all cases anyway.
So, as somebody who looks like they fit in your own words, you may not have felt prejudices up front, but how do people react when they realise that you were different from them? A racist would maybe see a white man, perhaps a little bit tanned, so what, you're Spanish or Brazilian, and then they speak to you a little bit and they realise your name doesn't sound like it's from the West. And then they find out that your religion is different from theirs. Then they find out that you're quite a bit different from them. Did that circumstance ever happen to you?
Yeah, but I just laugh it off. Like, there's always a bit of shock, and then what the hell moment, then you just move on, because that's all you can do. You can't change the racist views. It's just bigotry from a young age. And then, in my case, all it did was make me a little confused. It never harmed me in any way. And sure, there's loads of cases where you're treated like crap and your immediate thought is, it's racism. But then you think back and you're like, maybe it's because I look different, or maybe it's just because I'm annoying. I'm not sure you can always tell. It happens a lot.
And you don't think that has an effect on you, even on a subconscious level? Because that's how a lot of young people are radicalised, through these small nudges that eventually lead to extreme emotions or even actions.
Of course, I have many moments of hatred. Mostly self-hatred. Yeah, who doesn't fantasize about committing suicide occasionally? I wouldn't put that down to being not white, you know. It's personal stuff. Yeah, like I said, that is the case for me. That's not the case for everyone, you know. Yeah, that's my story, and that's what I think about it.
Nice. Nailed it.
Yeah?
Nice one.
Okay. You want me to repeat any other bits? It's up to you.
Nah,
You sure?
got it, yeah.
Okay, great.
Unless you wanted to.
I think that's okay.
I think the last one shouldn't be able to pick up, hopefully.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna wait.
How do we get to it? Oh, that's my thing. Oh.
So I think now you can maybe get more aggressive if you wanted to. A bit about looking like you fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can do it.
Did it? Oh yeah. No, wait, is it? Alright. Okay. Yeah, we just laugh it off. There's a bit of shock, like, what the hell? And then you just move on, because that's what we can do.